How Diddy and Jay-Z try to take the blame off of Diddy and Jay to put it on Drake via Kendrick Lamar. That's crazy, man. Hell no. Right? They try to use Kinky Kendrick, bell-bottom Kinky Kendrick, bell-bottom wearing Kinky Kendrick. They try to use him. They use him as a weapon against Drake to take the attention off of Drake. To take the attention off of Diddy and put it onto Drake, because they knew there was an indictment coming down for Diddy. God damn, man. Crazy how the industry works. Y'all, we're watching the industry collapse right in front of us, man. That's why these rappers don't say nothing. They don't say nothing about Diddy. They don't talk about Jay-Z. Watch, look, Joe Budden, fruit bowl ass Joe Budden is not gonna say anything about this. Why? Because those are his owners. Jay and Diddy are his owners, so he's not gonna say anything about them. But silence means complicity. So if these people do not talk and don't address the situation, they don't address the elephant in the room, that means they're part of whatever they got going on. And either ways, look, when you look at Joe Budden, right, this guy is a weirdo of weirdos, to say the least, right? I don't want this video to get flagged or nothing, but Joe Budden sits with his legs crossed, wearing green thong sandals, man. What more do you need? What more do you need to know who Joe Budden is? Like, what more do you need? Any man that sits like that with their legs crossed and green thong sandals on, you already know what type of man that is. So, it's crazy how they try to take the allegations off of Diddy and put them shits on Drake. Damn, crazy. And now the Epstein files has exposed some of that. It has exposed some of that. So I just wanted to come on here and just discuss that. Whoever does not talk about Jay being in them papers, in them emails, whoever doesn't talk about that, then that means that they're complicit. Regardless of whether, I'm not saying that Jay is guilty of anything, right? I'm not implying that. I'm not saying that he is. What I'm trying to show you guys is that the narrative is already being put out, and it's really hard to fight narratives, right? It's really hard to fight a narrative. Once the narrative is out, it's hard to fight it. If you say something, you're lying about this, you're lying about that. If you don't say something, then it means you're complicit because you're not addressing the situation. So it's kind of tough. It's tough. It's not easy. However, I'm not saying Jay is guilty of anything. I'm just saying if people do not address the elephant in the room, then that probably means that they're either complicit or maybe they don't want to talk about it because they have good relationships with these people. So they're not going to expose them or even talk about their problems, which that's crazy because that's one-sided journalism. That's biased journalism or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's covering with a bias. So it's really not good because it's always going to be one-sided. It's always going to be one-sided. So it's not good. But you can see the narrative is already out. The narrative is out. Jay is a right? Jay is a and Nicki Minaj. Oh my God, Nicki Minaj is going crazy on these crakes. She's going crazy. She's exposing, right? She's exposing. And with a name like Nicki Minaj, think about a Nicki Minaj, right? Before, it was just conspiracy theories talking about this shit, right? Talking about conspiracies, right? But now you got an industry insider, Nicki Minaj, coming out and exposing what all of us have already been thinking for a while. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to come on here. I appreciate everybody who tuned into the live. Please hit the share and like button. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. If they do not address the elephant in the room, it may mean complicity. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.